So in the previous session, we have talked to you about definition and value of a function, and mostly about definition. In the second part of that video, we are going to talk to you about few more things about the introduction to a function. So let's get started. The first thing that I'm going to talk to you about is very interesting. It's called the vertical line test. So basically what you do is whenever you consider the graph of a function, you actually draw any vertical line. If it intersects the function at more than 1 point, then the graph does not represent a function. For example, suppose I'm taking this graph. So I draw any vertical line. I will see that it intersects the graph at exactly 1 point. So it's a function. So now that we understand the algorithm, the next obvious question is, what is the significance of this test? If you look at this particular word, vertical line, how do they look? Definitely they're of this form that is shown in the diagram, but they have equation of the form x equals to constant. Now you know from the basic definition of a function that x actually talks about the input. So the input, if it is constant, then you cannot have more than one output. That actually refers to the uniqueness of the image. So let's just see some example. Look at this one. Okay, this is not a function because even if I get one such vertical line which fails to connect with the graph at exactly 1 point, we are done. Now, if you look at this one, draw any vertical line, we are good with this. So I hope you understand the significance and the algorithm of this vertical line test. Now, as we have seen some arrow diagrams and different types of, set builder forms for functions, it's also important that you learn how to plot functions, because especially for higher studies, for analytical reasoning, you will actually need to see the graphs of functions and different types of graphs as well. So have some basic knowledge about them. It's going to help you in the future. So this is what the function is. We have taken x comma y. So x plus y is 1. If you think about this, this is basically a straight line. So how do you draw the straight line? This is having intercept 1 and 1 on the positive x-axis and the y-axis. So this is how you normally plot a function. Now, once you know how to plot a function, you will also see how we can find out the value of a function. So let's take this graph. All right, so I'm going to find out the value. So what does this value mean? If you have a particular input, you will get a particular output. That is the concept of a function. That particular output is the value of the function. So first of all, take this one, f of minus 5. If you look at the point minus 5, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this is the one we are talking about. So the value is actually 0. Fair enough. You take f of minus 3, you will see that at minus 3, this is what we are talking about. So the value is actually 1. So this is how you can understand the value of a function from graph. I'm taking f of minus 2. So if you look at these things, there are two values here. The first one is actually hollow, whereas the second one is filled up. So I'm going to take the second value. So the value will be 1. Now look at the graph again. In this particular region, it's actually maintaining a constant value. So if I take anything from this particular region, I will get the value minus 1. Now, let's take f of 2. So this is 2. So draw the vertical line. This is where it intersects the graph. So the value is going to be 0. Now take f of 3. So what is f3? You can clearly see that this is the value of f3. So this is going to be 1. Similarly, f4 is going to be minus 4 because this is the point. And also, if I say f5, now take the point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you see a vertical line, there's no intersection at all. So the value is not defined. Finally, we have taken f of 0.5. So 0.5 is somewhere here. So the value will be minus 1. Similarly, I have taken f of 0.4 along with a negative sign. So this is somewhere here. So the value will be again minus 1. So I hope from this video, you people have seen how to draw the graph of a function and how to read the values, and also learned about the vertical line test, which is very essential and basic. So that's it from the first concept that you have here, which is nothing but the definition and value of a function. In the next video, I'm going to talk to you about a few more important things about a function, so stay tuned.